Shalom, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai, double honor to the apostles, a great millstone. This is part 3 of urban renewal or Negro removal. All right. And this is going to be the last article we're going to look at. The name of this article is Gentrification, the New Negro Removal Program, and it's written by Dr. Ron Daniels, and it was published on November 26th, 2018. We're gonna hit a couple parts, a couple paragraphs here, and then we're gonna hit the scriptures. Displacing Black people in culture. Gentrification, the New Negro Removal Program, a call for an emergency summit. It says gentrification has emerged as a major threat to Black communities and that have been centers for Black business, economic development, cultural, and civic life for generations. Gentrification has become the watchword for the displacement of Black people in culture. Gentrification is the Negro removal program of the 21st century. There's an urgent need for Black people, for people of African descent to mount a serious offensive to defend Black communities from this insidious onslaught. During the civil rights Black Power era, the term Negro removal was virtually synonymous with urban renewal. Local, state, and federal highway and development projects that often disconnected and destroyed stable Black communities, It was not unusual for a local highway project designed to benefit residents from the suburbs or a component of an interstate highway system to be routed through the center of a Black community, uprooting and displacing Black people or permanently weakening businesses, institution networks, and relationships that bound folks together. As advocates for Black entrepreneurship correctly urge Black people to create and support Black business districts in our community, it is useful to remember that urban renewal destroyed thriving business districts in Black communities across the country in the latter part of the 20th century. In fact, there's a historical pattern of marginalizing, subverting, or outright destroying Black communities to thwart our ability to achieve full political and economic empowerment and equity in this nation. Gentrification is the latest manifestation of this pattern. It says, I'm going to read here. It says, there are a multiplicity of testimonies about the destructive phenomena. The caption of the feature article in May 12, 2018 edition, the New York Times captured the essence of the crisis confronting Black communities across the country. When home no longer looks the same, rapid change in Durham has left many Black residents feeling unwelcome. The article details how the revitalization of Durham, North Carolina, has increasingly meant development and progress for middle and upper income whites, but displacement for large numbers of Black working class and middle class people who can no longer afford to live in certain sections of the city. An article in October 21, 2018 edition of the Houston Chronicle is also illustrative of growing concern about gentrification in Black America. Historic Black neighborhoods disappear all the time, but they don't have to. Let me see what else we got here. Let's see. Chocolate cities, once the domain of Black political and economic power, are vanishing as increasing numbers of whites who in previous generations abandoned urban centers for the suburban are now returning to establish more comfortable and convenient spaces in closer proximity to their workspaces. Development to accommodate newcomers is driving up the cost of housing, especially rental properties, in a manner that is unaffordable for a large number of Black residents. Property taxes are also skyrocketing, putting enormous pressures on Black homeowners as well. As Blacks are displaced and replaced by newcomers, this is inevitably leading to dramatic shifts in political power from neighborhood advisory boards to city council and mayor and office of mayors. Black power is diminishing. What is equally egregious of the attitudes of some newcomers whose black communities sometimes characterized as invaders or neo-colonists, this is because newcomers are not content to become part of the community. They arrogantly attempt to change the rhythms, culture, and character of the community. For decades, it has been well-established and accepted customs that scores of drummers gathered on the designated date at a regular time at Marcus Garvey Park in Harlem to play African music. But once a large number of invaders became occupants of a nearby apartment building, they began to complain to the police and petition local elected officials seeking to ban this long-standing weekly ritual. In Detroit, 3 white women who are newcomers to a predominantly black neighborhood falsely accused a black man of being a pedophile and demanded that police file charges against him. The brother in question was starting a community garden on a vacant lot in the community, and the women protested this activity taking place in their neighborhood. Fortunately, the judge dismissed the charges in a case of gardening while black. Reports of these kinds of attitudes and behaviors across the countries is breeding resentment and hostility towards the invaders. All right. So, just a quick, just quick excerpt there, here and there about basically black people, so-called black people, and their neighborhoods being gentrified. All right. And I have one response to this article, and it's Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 29. It says, "And thou shalt grope at midday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways." All right. Ultimately, what our people are feeling, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, what you're in the receiving end of is the curses. As simple as that. Shalakia, you're on the receiving end of the curses, man. It says, "And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee." Exactly. So there's going to be no advisory board. There's going to be no community board. There's going to be nobody who's going to be able to save you from the situation that you're in. Because ultimately, the Lord put you in that situation. That's why you don't have anything. That's why your neighborhoods are being overran, mine included. Because as we've spoken about before, this is not our rest. All right? This is not our rest. This place that we are in right now is not our rest. This is Psalm chapter 25, verse 22. It says, "Redeem Israel, O God, out of all his troubles." Exactly, man. Matter of fact, let's read up at 19. It says, "Consider my enemies, for they are many, and they hate me with cruel hatred. Oh, keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee. Redeem Israel, O God, out of his troubles, out of all his troubles." All right, so that's the only thing that we have to look forward to, man, is praying unto the Lord to redeem our people, man, to buy us back. All right? This is Galatians chapter 4, verse 5, and it says, matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 4. It says, "But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent his son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we may receive the adoption of sons." All right. So the Lord ultimately needed to buy us back. All right. This is the only way that we're going to be able to get out of these curses. This is the only way that we're going to be able to get out of this situation, man. No one is going to be able to deliver us. No Dr. Martin Luther King. No this guy, no Michael Reichen. Although they are writing, no Dr. Ron Daniels, no what is this? Institute of Black World 21st Century. None of that. None of this stuff is going to deliver us. The only thing that's going to be able to deliver us is the Lord, man. All right, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, by way of his son. All right, Yahweh Shai, the world literally calls Jesus Christ. All right, now the word there for redeem is, let me just play it.
Strong's G, 1805, exargarazo. Exargarazo
exagarazo. All right, and it says to redeem. It says by payment of a price to recover from the power of another, to ransom, to buy off. Metaphor. It says of Christ freeing the elect from the dominion of the Mosaic law at the price of his vicarious death. It says to buy up for oneself, for one's use. It says to make wise, sacred use of the opportunity for doing good, so that zeal and well-doing, as it were a purchase with money, we make the time our own. All right. So here in Strong's definition, it says to buy up, ransom, figuratively to rescue from a loss. All right. So only the Lord's going to be able to buy us back. All right. So the definition is 1A. It says by payment of a price to recover the power of another. Exactly. So only the Lord is going to be able to redeem the nation of Israel. All right. Let's look up the word redeem in the online etymology real quick. It says redeem, to buy back, ransom, recover by purchase. Also in a theological sense, to deliver from sin and spiritual death. All right. Old French, buy back. All right. To redeem, to buy back, read back. All right. It says to buy, gain, procure, distribute. All right. So, only the Lord's going to be able to buy us back. All right. And he's going to buy us back through what? By delivering us through his blood. He's already bought back the elect. All right. But he's going to have to buy back the entire nation in order to establish, all right, the kingdom of heaven. All right. So there is no there is no getting up and marching, and none of that stuff is going to make a difference. The only thing that's going to help the nation of Israel is for the Lord to deliver us, man. All right. So, man, I like to give an all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashmi Al Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Green Millstone who continue to teach us this truth. This was urban renewal or Negro removal. All right, lesson about the so-called white man and how he displaces black communities, but ultimately, this is not our rest. All right. I'd like to give an all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashmi Al Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Green Millstone who rule well. Salutations to you. I came out there doing the work. And until next time, shalom.